Welcome back to the channel. For those new, I like to review keyboards, and today I've got Melgeek's latest creation, the Melgeek Real 67. With the Hall effect revolution well and truly underway, it's becoming harder and harder for these boards to stand out in a crowded market. But Melgeek are a company that make really good boards in my experience, so let's see if the Real 67's got it. Before we do that though, I just gotta let you know that Melgeek did provide the Real 67 free of charge for the purpose of this review, but rest assured any opinions you're gonna hear today, completely my own, unbiased. Let's get into it. Alright, first up, unboxing. This will be familiar if you've tried a Melgeek board with their brand vision code snippet. Inside, first thing you're getting is this thank you card, followed by the board in a plastic sleeve, the user manual and sticker sheet with the nice braided USB A to C cable, a keycap puller, and some spare keycaps for macOS and alternate nav. This whole package comes in at just $99 over on Melgeek's website, so if it delivers, this could be a top budget Hall effect pick. Okay, let's start off with design and build quality, and the Real 67's case is plastic with a sharp edge design with subtle homages paid to its gaming roots. The underside's got this checkered design that adds a level of visual interest, as well as a couple of text pieces. The sodium white colour scheme I've got here has these aluminium side pieces that again add some taste, and I believe you can customise them for a highly personalised experience. The board weighs in at roughly 925 grams, so it's lighter than a lot of aluminium boards we're seeing these days. I'll let you be the judge of which you prefer, but I will say the board definitely does not feel cheap just because it's lighter. I actually think it's quite a refreshing change. Being plastic, you might have expected height adjustable feet, as I did, but instead you'll just find these rubber case feet. At this point I should mention, I've got this sodium white colour scheme, but it is available in other very different colour schemes. So, the Real features a 65% ANSI layout with a blocker that doubles as an LED bar for some ambient effects, and I believe these are strictly visual effects as opposed to being any sort of indicators. As with many Hall effect keyboards, for connectivity it is going to be wired only, and that's just the easiest way to achieve these blazingly fast latencies. To give you an idea that the Real 67 has an 8K polling rate with a 16K scan rate with a 0.125 millisecond theoretical latency. Faster than any human needs, put it that way. We saw the RGB blocker, but the board also comes with full RGB backlighting that gets decently bright, but nothing to write home about. The diffusion isn't amazing. Alright, let's talk stock conclusions. Starting with keycaps. Once again, this will be variant specific, but in this variant you're getting double shot PBT keycaps in the cherry profile, and I have to say I like the orange and off-white theme going on here. It's cohesive across the whole board. Okay, and then really getting onto the star of any Hall effect keyboard, we've got the switches. These are the TTC Tie-E exclusive collaborative switches between Melgeek and TTC, and not only do they perfectly complement the scheme of the case, but they are of course magnetic Hall effect. They're a closed bottom linear HE switch with a super smooth travel. When it comes to the overall sound profile of the board, sure, it's got that pretty distinct Hall effect switch sound that produces a poppy clack in this case, but in terms of typing experience they feel light and buttery smooth to type on. Alright, enjoy this sound test before we get into the real meat and gravy of this keyboard. Okay, one of the core components of an overall great Hall effect keyboard is the software that's powering it. And let me tell you, Melgeek's Hive tool does not disappoint. Not only do you not actually need to download and install this driver, it's available directly in browser and is really reminiscent of Wootility in my opinion. You can configure set profiles for typing, gaming and so on. You can remap keys across several categories, but if we go into this super keys section, you can see all those flashy competitive modes that this keyboard offers. SOCD, mod tap, toggle key, DKS, DRT, they're all there. You can also play around with lighting and all of the rapid trigger settings you'd expect. And this is really cool, you can individually tell the keyboard which type of switch is installed in a given slot. This is really cool and a feature that was missing from Wootility last time I checked, but do correct me if I'm wrong. Okay look, I really love this thing. For $99, the Real 67 feels like an absolute steal. The typing experience is buttery smooth, it sounds great, and the software is incredibly well done. What stands out to me even more is how much Melgeek clearly put into the design, offering the board in multiple colour schemes and levels of gamerness to appeal to a wider audience. And when you consider the hardware package, Hall effect switches, full PBT keycaps, premium feeling build, RGB and 8K polling, all for $100, I don't really think you can go wrong. So yeah, if you're looking for a Hall effect keyboard under $100 that doesn't skimp out on features, the Real 67 is a real no-brainer. Full recommendation from me. Alright, that's going to be it for my review of the Melgeek Real 67. If you liked the video, consider dropping a like. If you're feeling extra generous, maybe subscribe. It's free to do. Finally, I want to say another huge thanks to the people over at Melgeek for making this video possible.